I'm Lori Shaw with Renaissance Periodization, and today I want to show you some recipes that I've been making with Trifecta Foods. So Trifecta just started offering fruit, and so that's really exciting. I wanted to show you some recipes that I've been doing with that. So the first one we're going to do today is watermelon ice. So you want to start with 8 cups of watermelon, and this is all going to go in the blender, and then it's all going to go in your freezer. Super easy. So I'm going to start by putting about half the watermelon in. It's not all going to fit, so we'll do about half of it. And then I'm going to start adding all of my flavorings to it. So we'll do about that much. And then I'm going to add in a cup of water first. Put the whole cup of water in now. And then I'll start doing my flavor. So I've got a tablespoon of butter, vanilla, emulsion. So if you have the cookbook, the Renaissance Kitchen, you'll know that I love this stuff. And I have it here to show you. This is it, butter, vanilla, emulsion. And it is a flavoring for drinks or cold foods. So it's not great to bake with, but it's great to flavor ice creams or sorbets or anything that's gonna go in the freezer or remain cold. So put a tablespoon of that in, you don't need very much at all. A tablespoon of white chocolate sugar-free Torani. You guys probably know if you have the cookbook or if you've seen our other videos how much I love Torani syrups. So I put a tablespoon of that in. Then I've got a tablespoon of fresh mint. So we'll dump that in there. Then I've got 2 teaspoons of lime juice, fresh lime juice, and 2 teaspoons of the grated lime zest. Dump that in, and then last but not least, I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of just fine kosher salt. And you want the kosher salt, not sea salt or iodized salt. You want the kosher salt, just the fine variety. So you can dump that in, and then we're just gonna blend it. And that's it. You're just gonna blend it up, and then I'm gonna pour almost all of it into like a 13 by 9 by 9 glass dish. I'm gonna leave some in here to kind of combine with the rest of my watermelon. So we're gonna put the rest of the watermelon in. And this is great because watermelon has only 10 grams of carbs per cup. So it's, very low carb, it's super refreshing, it's 90 plus degrees every day here in Charlotte. So something that's really cold and refreshing for a carb is really nice, I think. So that's why I thought you guys might enjoy this. I hope you do. We'll blend up the rest of it. That's it. And we'll just pour it in. And so the part of this that requires time is just letting it freeze. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in the freezer. So I already made a space in there because my freezer is full of frozen pancakes and waffles and everything for our kids. So I already moved all that, made some space in there. I'm gonna put this in the freezer and then I'm gonna let it set for 45 minutes. And I'm gonna take it out. It's gonna start to freeze around the edges and we're just gonna chop that all up and re-stir it, put it back in for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Take it out, do the same thing. You're gonna do that for like 4 hours. Just do it on a day when you're around the house and you can kind of keep coming back to it. And then we'll let it freeze completely, and then you'll take a big fork and just scrape it. And then it becomes sort of just like a shaved ice, and it stays that way. So then once you've done that part, you can portion it out, put it into containers, put it in the freezer, and it'll stay that shaved consistency. It doesn't refreeze into a block or anything like that. It's really refreshing and really nice and summery. So I'm gonna put this in the freezer and we'll show you what it looks like next. All right, so we're back checking on our watermelon ice. So you can see it's starting, hopefully you can see this, it's starting to freeze. It always freezes around the outside edges first. There's almost like a rim of frozen part. You just want to get in there, break that up, stir it back in. What you're doing is sort of like making this light, airy, and something that's gonna kind of shave really nicely later when you're ready to eat it. So that's all you need to do. Is just break up that outside, stir it all back in, and stick it back in the freezer. And like I said, you just want to do that like every 45 minutes. You can wait an hour if you want to, and set a timer, go stir it, stick it back in. It doesn't take any time at all. And then once you've done that for 4 or 5 hours, you can just let it freeze overnight. And then the next day, get it out, and just take a fork and scrape, 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 scrape. It doesn't take nearly as long as it sounds. And then you'll have this great, huge amount of shaved watermelon ice. And again, 1 cup of watermelon is only 10 grams of carbs. So it's a super low carb, very tasty, very cold and refreshing treat. And so this is what your finished watermelon ice is gonna look like. So it's really nice and light, and it's got some chunks and some not so big chunks. And by the way, I made this a week ago, so it stays in the freezer for a really long time. And that's it. So it's just really cold and really refreshing, and it's got the lime juice and everything, and so it's really, really good. I really hope you like it. It's a great way to get in some carbs and have fun doing it.